Desperation had driven me to the brink, living off scraps and sleeping in alleys. So when a recruiter offered food, shelter, and a chance to participate in a secretive medical study, I grabbed the opportunity. I joined a group of equally desperate souls in a windowless van, driven to a remote facility surrounded by high walls and security cameras, far from any signs of civilization. When we arrived, Dr. Harris greeted us with an unsettling cheerfulness, while Dr. Quinn and Dr. Moore watched us with cold, clinical eyes. We were told our primary duty was to take a daily pill to stay safe. Despite a gut feeling that something was wrong, the promise of a warm bed and regular meals was too tempting to resist. The facility was basic but luxurious compared to my previous life. Private rooms with locked doors, a common area filled with old, dusty books, a dimly lit gym, and tasteless vegetarian meals served with unsettling regularity. The air reeked of antiseptic, and chilling drafts swept through the hallways, making the place feel perpetually cold. On the fifth day, Jake, one of the participants, vanished without warning. When he returned, he was gaunt, with eyes filled with terror, but he refused to speak about what had happened. The air grew thick with fear and suspicion. Jake's hands shook uncontrollably, and he constantly glanced over his shoulder, as if expecting to see something dreadful. I tried to form alliances with the remaining participants, but the pervasive fear had eroded any sense of trust. In whispered conversations, we shared snippets of our lives, deepening the sense of camaraderie and desperation. I learned that Jake once had a family but lost them under mysterious circumstances, adding a layer of sympathy and tension. Then Maria was found dead in her room, her face frozen in a mask of sheer terror. Dr. Harris dismissed it as a heart attack, but we were unconvinced. Paranoia and dread seeped into the once promising environment, turning the facility into a prison of the mind. We whispered among ourselves, suspecting foul play or something even more sinister. The stale, metallic taste of the pills lingered in my mouth, adding to my growing discomfort. I began to experience horrifying visions of shadowy, malevolent creatures creeping in the corners of my room when I forgot to take my pill. These entities, with eyes like burning coals and whispers that froze my soul, could only be kept at bay by the daily dose. My increasing paranoia and fear drove me to religiously follow the pill regimen, but the creeping dread never truly left me. The shadows seemed to grow darker each day, and I started to hear faint, disembodied voices calling my name in the dead of night. One night, I discovered scratches and cryptic messages carved into the walls of the common area, left by previous participants. "They are watching," and "trust no one" were the most frequent, deepening my sense of dread. I also found a hidden journal detailing another participant's similar experiences, adding layers to the growing horror. As more participants vanished or spiraled into madness, I found myself increasingly isolated. The facility, once a refuge, now felt like a haunted house with dark, suffocating hallways and an aura of malevolence. The doctors' cheerful facades cracked, revealing glimpses of their true, sinister intentions. I noticed Dr. Moore watching me with a cold, calculating gaze, and Dr. Quinn's smile no longer reached his eyes. In overheard conversations, I caught snippets of Dr. Quinn expressing guilt and hesitation, hinting at a conflicted conscience. Determined to escape, I attempted to rally the remaining participants, but their terror and mistrust thwarted my plans. Some participants started exhibiting erratic behavior, talking to themselves or lashing out without provocation. The environment grew more oppressive, with flickering lights, strange noises, and a pervasive sense of being watched. My hallucinations became more vivid and disturbing, with shadowy creatures and blood-curdling whispers invading my every waking moment. Desperate to uncover the truth, I sneaked into the restricted areas of the facility. There, I discovered hidden documents revealing the horrifying reality. The pills were suppressing a parasitic entity implanted in each of us. Skipping a dose allowed the parasite to awaken, causing nightmarish hallucinations and eventual death as it consumed its host. I also found photographs of previous participants, their faces contorted in terror, and video recordings of their last moments, screaming and begging for mercy. I also uncovered recordings of the doctors discussing the true nature of the experiment. Dr. Moore revealed a twisted fascination with the parasites, seeing them as a new form of life to be studied, while Dr. Harris showed a disturbing lack of empathy for us. Dr. Quinn, however, appeared conflicted, hinting at possible remorse and a tragic backstory that explained his hesitations. I was left with a terrifying choice: continue taking the pills and live in perpetual fear of the unseen entities, or stop taking them and face a gruesome death. The story ends with me staring at the pill in my hand, the shadows around me growing darker and more oppressive as I contemplated my bleak fate. As I hesitated, I felt a cold breath on the back of my neck and heard a whisper in my ear, "Join us." The final scene fades to black, leaving my fate ambiguous, trapped in an unending cycle of dread and dependency.